everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the start of yet another weekend vlog. Hi, hello. It is Friday midnight or something, and I'm in bed. I totally forgot to start this vlog earlier, but tonight, what did I do? I ran from, as I finished work, I went to the library and then I went home to pick up some stuff from my parents' house, as I seem to usually do on the weekends now. Very strange. And then I came home and cleaned my entire place, made dinner, and then I played D&D. And unfortunately my Wi-Fi just decided to completely crap out on me tonight, so I was more of a bystander than anything because I couldn't have my camera on because it would just freeze my entire computer, and I couldn't really even speak either because as soon as I tried again, it would just robot, and people were like, "Jen, we cannot hear you right now." So I stayed just listening mostly, and I would type my thoughts in the chat, which was so much fun still because this second session of our game, I love, y'all know I love watching D&D podcasts. So this was being able to interact in a D&D podcast, which was just so fun. I loved it. It was so much fun to sit there and listen to my friends. Obviously I wanted to be part of it because I had plans to have chats with the characters tonight, but next session, it's okay. But yeah, we didn't do any big fights or anything. It was just kind of an investigative session and more character-led, which was usually my favorite kind of sessions are like that. So anyways, that's what I did. But this weekend, what's going on? Not a whole lot tomorrow. Really nothing. I do want to spend it writing, however, and reading. I do have to finish up this book club read. We Ride Upon Styx by Quamberry, because Sunday is book club, and I'm actually having my friends here on Sunday, which is exciting because I haven't seen them in a few months. So it'll be nice to have them here for a little bit. And other than that, it's just going to be a usual weekend that you guys see. Writing, reading, content. It's going to be a good time. But other than We Ride Upon Styx, I really would love to finish something else that I got going on. I started reading The Justice of Kings this week, so I probably would love to do that. And I got a hankering to read Harold the Ninth, so I might also do that as well. But I just have a lot of books on my TBR right now that I want to just devour and get through and just read and consume all the content, which is awesome because I also got an idea for another Reading BookTube's favorites. I've planned it out and I went onto my library to see if I could borrow the books for it, and 2 of the books are available now, so I'm going to, as soon as I finish up a few of my reads, I would like to also finish Seven Devils, which is one of my library books. Once I finish up that one, this one, and one other book that I have on the go currently, I'm going to start that reading vlog as well, so that I can read both of those books before they have to go back to the library, and just kind of start it in motion. I think I have it planned to go up in May, so I do have a fair bit of time to get through it. I have 2 of the books now, so might as well. But yeah, that's what I went to pick up at the library. 3 holds. I was only expecting 1. And I got there and there was 3 on the shelf for me, so I was happy. I was happy. But yeah, that's gonna be this weekend. We're gonna see how much content I can get through. I also have just the biggest hankering to start writing this new project that I'm planning out. If you guys have been kind of floating on my Instagram and my TikTok, you'll know what it is, and I'll explain it more tomorrow. But I have a hankering for it, and I even have a spin-off series idea for it as well. So I need to get writing and get these things in motion because I want them to exist so bad. Anyways, I'll explain that more tomorrow when it's daylight and when I'm not, sitting in bed. Anyways, my friends, I will catch up with you tomorrow. But yes, welcome to the start of the vlog. Good morning and a happy Saturday, friends. It's a new day. Today, I'm going to do a whole lot of nothing except for writing and reading. I'm also thinking of going live in a little bit. So I think I'm gonna put up social posts just to warn everybody that I'm going live, and then make a thumbnail because I haven't got a fresh thumbnail for writing sprints. So I think I'm gonna do that today, which sounds really fun. So that'll be for a little bit today. But last night I ended up finishing We Ride Upon Styx by Quamberry, and this was something. This was definitely something. I'm pretty sure I liked it. The beginning I was more apathetic about it than I thought I was going to be, but by the time we actually got to the end and actually got to the interesting stuff, I was
hooked. And it was like, I don't know, there was something about it that it was definitely like, the blurb on the front says that Barry writes with a sustained manic energy, and that definitely comes through. Like, it is so 80s, it is so weird. Like, the narration is odd, and I think that's what took me a little bit to get used to at the beginning. Like, it's not an odd narration style or anything, it's just odd. Like, it's, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it's running over each other, and it's got lots to say, and it's really detailed, but then it also like jumps around a lot, and it's very interesting because it's also a collective we narration, which is really, really cool. And I think that narration style made it really difficult for me to distinguish which girls were which, except for a select few. Like, I got Mel and Heather confused all the time, except for when they were talking about like a deformity that Mel had on her neck that's called Le Splotch, which is interesting. And like, I knew, like, when I think about it really hard, like, I know who each of the kids is, like, each of the girls are, but like at times in the narration I was like, I don't know, they're just the same person, which I think is the point, because it is a collective we. And at one point in this, like, the narration style basically says like, we realized that we were all in each other's head and we couldn't really, you know, think on our own, which was very interesting. So really, I did enjoy this. And I'm gonna have to throw it through Cop-Out to really see how I feel about it, because on characterization, it's both spot on for teenage girls, and then, like, as I said, I couldn't really distinguish the girls throughout the narrative, so like, I don't really know how I'm gonna do that for Cop-Pile specifically, because Cop-Pile is very specific on which aspects you're rating. But yeah, definitely interesting. If you're looking for a weird, intriguing ride, definitely pick this one up. It's very, very 80s, which I liked. But anyways, today, other than that, what do I want to read today? That's a good question. I have my stack of library books over there, and I was in the like 30 pages in to reading Seven Devils, so I think I might try get through that, or a little bit of that today, possibly. Or, where did it go? Oh, it's over here. Justice of Kings. This is the dust jacket. Justice of Kings. I might read this one because it has an audiobook, and that's what I was listening to, so I might continue this one as well. This one, I'm unsure about. Like, I really like the narrator for the audiobook, but as so far, I don't know, I'm waiting for it to get like super interesting. The setting is really different from what I was expecting, because we're in like a city, a proper city, and like there's a judicial system, and it's just this guy is called Justice, and he goes around and metes out justice in the name of the emperor. But I'm also interested because our main character, our narrator, it's a first person narration, but our narrator takes such a back seat in the beginning. Like, it takes a few chapters to even like learn her name or learn her vibe, which is very interesting. So we learn more about who she's seeing than we learn about her, which is also interesting because you do, in a way, learn a lot about her character in that way. So I'm intrigued, and I'm gonna probably keep reading that one today as well because it has an audiobook. But for now, I'm gonna make breakfast, coffee, all that jazz, because I haven't eaten yet today. So I'll catch up with you later.
Hello friends, it's now a little later. It's about 3:10ish, and I've just finished my writing sprints. Man, I forgot how much I love those. I ended up getting 1,900 words written in Project Dragon, and I kind of want to work a little more on it just to see. I also might try and work on Project Second Story, which I figured I'd talk about now. So, y'all know, I just finished Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree, and this is my favorite book of the year so far, and probably will end up being my favorite book of the year because I loved this so much. But it also made me desperate for more soft stakes high fantasy like it. So much so that I was like, I gotta write my own. I gotta write my own. And so I'm going to write my own soft stakes high fantasy series. I have the idea for the series. I already have like first book mapped out. Like I was sitting here and I was like, okay, I have this little book from my dad. He was like, here, do you want this notebook? And I was like, Dave, you'd never have to ask me if I want stationery. It's always yes. That he bought, I guess, for his company, and he, soft stakes, high fantasy, what am I gonna do? And I got this idea one night, late at night, and I played with fire, because I was basically like, okay, I'm gonna try and remember this idea, and I'm not gonna write it down right now. I'm gonna try and remember it. Sorry for this terrible angle. I'm carrying things right now. I'm gonna just try and remember it and see what comes of it tomorrow. which is usually a bad idea because usually I will forget by morning. But I didn't forget because this is meant to be. So I sat here and I just figured out what like my idea was going to be gently. So it's going to be a series of standalone novels that do all connect. And they're going to be high fantasy settings, so it's going to be in one of my cities. I've already picked the city from my world, and it's going to be like set by the sea on a strip of the town or the city. It's one of my smaller cities, so it's like more of a, you know, seaside town vibe. And it's going to be like, you know, each book is a story, and it's gonna be like slice of life vibes of just people on the street who are there. And first book, I was sitting there and I was like, oh my god, what if I just write the story for my D&D character that I played, Arlius, in the previous campaign that I was in, his story with his husband originally, but like give them the ending that I wanted to give them rather than like a tragic ending. Give them the story that they deserve, and I ran with that. So I basically I'm gonna write a story about a high elf and an assassin who decide to run a bookstore together. And so I was like, great, great, let's do it. So I sat one night just writing and writing and writing this, you know, idea of like what's gonna happen in the story, point by point. You know, this is what happens, this is kind of what happens, on and on and on, a why and like reasonings and stuff. And I basically outlined the first book in one night. So I have that. And then yesterday I was sitting here. Was it yesterday or the day before? I'm not sure. Time is a soup. One of the characters in this that isn't one of my main characters is another D&D character that I've written and like made, but I haven't yet had a chance to play her because I want it to be in a, I don't know, I just want to give her a proper campaign because she is a little sage green tiefling and she is just obsessed with adventure. And so I'm putting her in this because she deserves to be somewhere because I absolutely love her. She's a little ray of sunshine. She's a druid and she's just awesome. So she's here and she works at the bookstore, and then I was like, and she's just obsessed with adventure, right? So I was like, okay, she's like about 17, 18, and I've also now gotten a spin-off idea for her series, essentially, because her story doesn't really fit in the like slice of life vibe that the rest of them would be. It would still be cozy fantasy, low stakes kind of vibe, but it would be adventuring party vibe, which I'm very excited to write as well. And I already have the title for her series, and I have a song that I'm basing it all off of, which is not basing it all off of, but like basing the beginning vibes off of, which is Far Horizons, which is from the Skyrim soundtrack. I'm so excited. So I have this main series already plotted, and then I have Sage's story idea already brewing in my head. So that's what I was, you know, kind of doing. And that's Project Second Story, because I think, and this is apt to change, I think the bookstore that Ari and Finn end up running is called A Second Story. So I think I'm gonna call the first book A Second Story, kind of a thing. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm calling it right now, the Project Second Story, which is very exciting, and I am amped. I'm amped, and I really want to write this. So, and my plan with this is to self-publish this series, which is so scary for me because I know nothing about self-publishing. So my plan of attack is to draft this and plan out the next one and like see where the stories take me, kind of a thing. And then once I have the first draft of this story, to start investigating self-publishing, like to see what I all have to do and know and pay for and whatever to get, you know, my legs on the ground. And I also am going to start building a brand on social media for this particular series, like on TikTok especially, because I know that's kind of where the heat is right now with authors and stuff like that. So getting the word out, getting people interested in the idea, and just kind of like dragging people along for the ride is kind of where I'm gonna go. I don't really know how this is gonna go, but this is the plan. This is the plan for this. I'm now just rambling. So that's the update on my writing life. But for now, I think I'm going to see if I can get any more writing done in Project Dragon and or Project Second Story. And other than that, I'm going to do some reading, I think. What I end up reading, we're gonna see. I also remember that I need to read Blood Scion because that is coming out, I think, this Tuesday. So I would really like to get it, you know, at least mostly read before it actually comes out so I can, talk about it and say, hey, you guys should read it. And I do want to actually read it, but I'm in the mood for an audiobook read right now. So I think The Justice of Kings is where I'm going to go. We're going to find out. I'll catch up with you later. Happy Sunday. It's now 4:40 in the afternoon. I don't know where the day is gone, but my lovely friends left at about 4ish, and I've just been kind of probably after 4. My lovely friend Sophie and SJ left after 4 from book club, and we had a great conversation. Everybody seemed to really like We Ride Upon Sticks, which is just fabulous. I love when my books go over so good, like when my choices go over so good. I was so worried because when I first started We Ride Upon Sticks, I was kind of bored. And my friend Sophie had just rated it 5 stars on Goodreads, and I was like, oh my god, am I gonna hate my own pick? No! I didn't end up hating it. I actually really ended up enjoying it, which is fantastic. All of us really seemed to like it, so it was a good book club vibe. And now my friend SJ picks the next book, and she picked House of Leaves. So we're all gonna suffer next month, or this month, I guess, because I ordered it right away, because I know there are no audiobooks for it, and I need to have it physically to be able to read it. And there are no ebooks for it either, so we're all gonna struggle. It's like a 700-page puzzle. So it's gonna be interesting though, because I am very intrigued by House of Leaves. But now I'm just kind of hanging out. I'm continuing to read The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan, which I am weirdly liking. Not weirdly, I guess, but the beginning 100 pages I wasn't really that enthralled by. But then yesterday when I was reading 100, my next chunk of the book, it kicked up and stuff was happening, and I was listening to the audiobook as I was cooking dinner and stuff like that, and I would just stop and gasped because I was just what just happened? So it's very interesting, and I'm currently on page 264, and at the speed that I'm listening to the audiobook at, I have 2 hours left, or just under 2 hours now. So I think I'm going to try and get as much done as possible, if not the whole book, in the next 2 hours, so that I can, enjoy the rest of my night. But last night I ended up watching an enormous amount of Dimension 20's Of Mice and Murder, which is, I've been meaning to watch that show, watch that D&D campaign of theirs. I watched most of the episodes, not most of them, first 4 or 5 when it first came out, but then I stopped watching. So now yesterday I watched 6 hours of it, and I'm entrenched in the mystery. It is so twisted, and there's just things keep happening that physically shock me, and whenever the cast reacts to stuff, it makes me so happy too. And I've also laughed out loud many times because it's just ridiculous, but it's so good. And I also finished my blanket, as you guys saw, at 1:30 in the morning. I decided, I was I'm done. I finally finished it. I did the border all the way around just to give it a nice finished look, and I'm done it finally. Finally I have my blanket done, which is awesome, because then I can start my next crochet project, which is going to be 2 baby blankets for my coworker, because she's having twins in May-June-ish. So I told her I'd make her baby blankets. After I read a bunch more of this, I think I'm going to, I don't know, just kind of hang out and probably watch more Dimension 20 to see if I can just, it's Sunday night. I just want to hang out and do nothing. So I might do that. And I don't really know what I'm going to do for supper, because I've decided that this week I'm not going to pre-make suppers for the night, for my nights, which is probably going to be a mistake. But I am tired of having the same thing for every night of the week. So I'm gonna give myself a week break where I just like have stuff that's in my freezer, or, you know, pop a pizza in the oven when I get home, or make KD. It'll just be one of those things. So that's the plan. But yeah, I thought I'd pop in and say hi. Anyways, friends, I'm gonna get back to reading and I will catch up with you guys a little later. Hello, my lovely friends. It is now 2 hours later and I'm done. The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan, and holy bananas, my guys. This book was so brutal, but so good. I'm gonna need to like take a second to compile my thoughts because this was very good. Very, very good. Oh my god, it's so brutal. There was a battle by the end, and the descriptions, I'm never gonna get one of them out of my head, and it's of a lady, of just a townsperson who had half the side of her face shorn off, and she was just walking in a daze in the midst of a massacre. And I just, oh my god, this was brutal fantasy, my guys, but so good and intriguing, and I'm so excited and so interested to see where this goes from here, because of one of the character arcs in here. I'm so intrigued to see where he goes from here. Like, oh my god. Holy bananas is a good one for this. Anyways, I have the beginnings of a headache, and I've had them now for about 2 hours, but they haven't gotten any worse or any better. So I'm just gonna kind of hang out. I think I'm gonna make something for dinner. I don't know what I want to eat. And then I'm going to just kind of hang out for a bit. I think I'm gonna put my show on and chill because it's almost 7 o'clock now. So wow, okay. 2 books done this weekend. 2 books done in March. Nice. Okay, awesome. I really would like to get a chunk done of Blood Scion as well, so I might read that a little later. I've been finding it really hard recently to read books physically without an audiobook, because it's like my brain needs the audiobook to keep going, which is fine. I sometimes fall into these spells of needing an audiobook for everything, but because this one only comes out on Tuesday, there won't be an audiobook for it available to me until Tuesday, and even then I don't know if there's going to be an audiobook on Scribd or not, which is the only audiobook subscription thing that I have. We'll see how that one goes. But yeah, my guys, wow, that was a lot. That was brutal. Yeah, I think I need something. Maybe I'll read Seven Devils instead of Blood Scion, because I know Blood Scion is dark, and I don't know if I can do 2 dark books back to back. I need something that's like a palate cleanser, and a sci-fi sounds like a good time, like a roaring romp of a sci-fi. And also Seven Devils, I don't have the audiobook for. Anyways, my guys, I will catch up with you a little later. Hello, my lovely friends. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy start of a new week. Today, I've just been hanging out right there. Because what else do I do at the start of a new week other than work? Alas, that is what happens when you reach a Monday. I think we should all petition across the world to have a 3-day weekend and a 4-day work week, because 2 days is not enough to recoup from 5 days of work, if you know what I mean. Anyways, friends, hi, hello. It's been a good weekend so far, in my opinion. Hold on, I'm gonna set you up on my little tripod. Much better. Then I could use my hands and not shake. Anyways, friends, yeah. Last night I ended up watching Dimension 20 until their Mice and Murder, which is their murder mystery game, which is so fun. I watched it till about 11 o'clock and it was physically hard for me to turn it off, because the end of the episode that I was on, it felt like the whole mystery just like unraveled and exploded again, because like something else happened, and I was just like, Brennan Lee Mulligan, you, my guy. Oh my god. That's like the moment of when everything just like pop in a book, you know, like the 75% mark. Felt like that. But it was like 11 o'clock and I wanted to do some reading, so I ended up parking myself in my bed and I picked up Seven Devils again, and I am now floating at the 111 page mark. So I did make some progress past the 31 page mark, and I'm liking this a lot. I'm really intrigued by it, and it's just such a instantly gripping read. I'm really enjoying this. So that's super fun. But yeah, this weekend has been pretty great. I got about 2,000 words done on Project Dragon, which is just prime. I love that. I'm gonna try and incorporate like at least a moment in time every week now to get myself back in the writing rhythm. I would really like to do it every day,
But I'm also currently doing a like challenge video for myself throughout the month where I read a certain amount of pages every day, so that's kind of taking up my time. But it's fine. I'm just gonna try and get into the writing groove again. Once it's it for all, we're gonna get into it again. But yeah, this weekend was a good time. I ended up finishing 2 books. I ended up finishing my book club pick, which was We Ride Upon Sticks by Quan Berry. I ended up giving this one 4 stars after running it through Copile. It was 4 stars. Like the more I sat on it, and then once we actually talked about it at book club, it just gotten better and better in my mind. Like it's very, very good. It's such a fun read. So I highly recommend it if you're looking for something a little out of the box, just a little bit out of the box and a little weird. Then I also finished up The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan, which was so very good. I did not expect, like the first 100 pages, when I got into the first 100 pages, I was like, I don't know if I'm actually gonna really like this. It's probably gonna be about a 3 star for me. It ended up being a 4.5 star for me. This was so intriguing, and I love the way that it's framed. It is framed that our main character, Helena, it's framed that she's writing this down as an old woman and recounting the tales, and like the end of it is basically her saying like, this is only the beginning of the story, so buckle in. Like, so I'm buckling in, Richard Swan. I'm ready. And I'm so excited to go with the rest of this. But yeah, my friends, that was my reading vlog for the weekend. That was my weekend. And it's the start of another work week, so I'll catch you in another video very soon. This Friday, what are you guys getting from me? You're going to be getting, oh, my friends pick my TBR part 3, which is my month-long February vlog, so you guys will get to see that. You get to see me love some books, hate some books, DNF some books. It's going to be a good time. But other than that, I'll catch you in another video very soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.